today on The Point TV.
Our baby has come to us with a brand new concept, you know, and we've all trusted in her.
So just to give you an example, this little cup of peaches that I'm holding here is half a cup, and that's more than a meal for me.
Regardless of what's happening in life, regardless of what our purpose is, Muladhara nurtures our basic primal instincts.
All this and more on The Point TV.
Hi, I'm Emma Walkinshaw.
I'm Shari Ware.
And I'm Madonna Williams.
We have a choice on how we educate our children. There are many options: the public education system, private alternative methods such as Steiner, homeschooling, even unschooling. What would it look like to go down a non-orthodox way of education? As a parent or a caregiver, how do we come to this decision? Jo Hendy is my guest and going to provide her view and story how this unschooling practice came about. Jo has studied in the area of personal development for the past 20 years. She's also a practitioner of child philosophy and also the founder and creator of the Sacred Sister Project that runs workshops for teen girls to tap into their self-love and self-awareness. Jo is a mother of 2 children, Charlie 13 and Bailey 18. She is also the loving stepmother of 2 stepchildren, TJ and Christelle. Unschooling is a new and fascinating concept which we're going to explore with Jo this evening.
Jo, you've chosen to unschool your daughter. What is unschooling?
It's a funny topic, that one. I get asked that a lot. Unschooling is an alternate way to school our children these days. It's a real kind of hands-off approach where we hand the learning over to the child, so and almost hand the responsibility over to them as well, so they find their path, so to speak. It's a funny one because I'm learning this now in my 40s and you know, she brought that to me at the age of 12, that she kind of wanted to step out of that system and go her own way.
So it sounds like there's a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Is there structure in the day, or what does a day look like for a child who's unschooled? What does it look like in your family?
Okay, well, firstly, there's absolutely no structure. That's the whole point. The area of stepping out of the education system is getting out of the structural side of things, the 9 till 3, the having to learn a certain way. So a day in the life of Charlie is up to Charlie. It's she trains a lot, so she's up at 5 swimming, and then she'll come home and have a rest. And then she's right into the whole makeup tutorial thing at the moment. So it's either a makeup tutorial in the morning or a cooking tutorial. She has her own YouTube channel. So it's kind of letting her find her way.
Yeah, sure. Because I know that with schooling, I hear it from my own children, like, why do I have to do history? It's living in the past.
Yeah.
So Charlie does not have to do anything.
There's no history. No history in our house. We're all about, you know, present moment. So that's really big, and that's another thing that she's kind of brought to us. Because I found the first 10 weeks, she's now been unschooled for 18 months, so the first 10 weeks she's not to do anything, and I found myself wanting to just a little bit of maths, just a little bit of English, you know, because I was still stuck in that system, that way that we are taught that you need an education to get on in life. So that was really tough for me, but you know, that's not the case.
So it sounds like you've had some unschooling, Jo.
For sure, I've like, it's blown my mind how much she's unhooked me out of the system at 12. You know, it's like, it's something happened in our whole family, which is quite emotional too, because it's like our baby has come to us with a brand new concept, you know, and we've all trusted in her and we've gone with her, and it's opened up a whole box of magic for all of us.
Trust. I can imagine that's the biggest thing, because as parents we know best, don't we?
Yeah. we think we know better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you've handed that over to Charlie,
Yeah.
and you've trusted in her, like you said, to open magic in your family.
Oh, for sure. She has taught all of us and brought us so many gifts, you know, and we've had to let go of what we know. And I think that's the world we're living in now, is we're evolving, and we really have to let go of what we think we know. And that's where I think the magic is, you know, and she's showing that to us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So obviously there was a defining moment. How did unschooling, I had never heard of it
Yeah.
until, you know.
Me too.
Yeah, so what was the defining moment, and how did this come around? What
Okay,
was the process?
on the New Year of 2014 and 2015, I woke up New Year's Day, as we do, and we want to create some kind of resolution that never ever comes about.
Yeah.
That I went, okay, this year I'm on a self-discovery quest. I'm going to try everything I can to open myself up. And so my first quest was to Peru, to the rainforest, to try some different things out. And while I was there, little did I know that she was having her own awakenings at home. And I think part of that was me stepping out, was allowing her to step out as well. And she had some experiences at school that had her questioning life. And so she came home to her dad, and he's just such an amazing human himself that he just listened, and we kind of put it in her hands right from the go and said, well, tell us what, you know, your options. So she found unschooling and came to us with that and explained to us. So we sat down with the whole family, and the 3 other kids weren't happy. They were like totally like, what? I had to go through school, you know. So
always a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
The baby gets away with stuff.
Yeah. So she explained to us what it was about. We understood it, the other 3 kids understood it, and we all just knew as a family that that was the right thing for her, because right from when she was a baby, she was already talking into the big picture. She was talking, you know, about if Trev and I had a disagreement, she would be sitting us down at 2 and saying, Mum, you need to either zip it, or and Dad, you need to listen or open your heart, or, you know, whichever way it went. She was speaking to us, and we listened to her right from when she was very little. So she was always the one that kind of was the most open. So it fitted with her perfectly.
Yeah, because like you say, at 40, we're now going, oh, maybe we need to do things differently. But to actually trust a 12-year-old to say, I don't want to go to school, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
That's massive.
It's massive. It's a really big trust thing for everyone, but it also opened up a whole world of opportunity for all of us that we were unaware of in ourselves. So it's been really beautiful. Yeah.
Now, there's obviously lots of pros. What are the cons?
Oh my God, well, I have to be home all the time.
Driving nuts.
Yeah, so lucky enough for our family, you know, we don't have a structured job, so we both have our own businesses, and we're able to take her with us, which I love, because she gets to then say, Mum, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I listen, and it's, you know, most of the time it's really great advice.
And life becomes the classroom then, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, because we want to teach our kids to be independent and to make our own decisions, but if we don't expose them to life in that way, how do they know?
Exactly. It's a big, like, world of opportunity for them.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you've noticed in Charlie since she's come out of the education system?
Well, the phone thing is the biggest thing, because I notice her friends come over and they're all on their phone. But I have to actually say to Jars, take your phone, honey, so I can contact you. Like if she's going to swimming, she never ever carries a phone around. She's not on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, they're little things. The biggest things are that she's just so free and happy and joyful, and she's in, you know, bliss all the time, and there's no stress, and she just speaks her mind.
Thank you, Jo. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anne.
So unschooling is a new and fascinating way to educate our children. As Jo's mentioned, it takes a lot of trust, and there's a lot of freedom involved. Thank you for watching The Point TV.
At the end of 2009, Tammy Johnson decided once and for all that she needed to do something about her weight. The catalyst was an overseas trip that was planned for the middle of 2010, and Tammy wanted to fit comfortably in an aeroplane seat. Through diet and exercise, Tammy lost 50 kilos over a period of about 3 years. Approximately 2 years after Tammy lost the weight, she started to put the weight back on, and over the next 20-month period regained about 27.5 kilos and found it extremely difficult to lose it again. Feeling that something wasn't right, Tammy visited her doctor and after a barrage of tests was diagnosed with a medical condition that necessitated the partial removal of her stomach. This has resulted in the same outcome for Tammy as if she had had weight loss surgery. Tonight we discuss the pros and cons of both methods of losing weight, diet and exercise versus weight loss surgery, from the rare perspective of someone who has experienced both.
Wow, you've been on a bit of a ride.
I have, yes.
Tell me about part one. You lost 50 kilos through diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm. Well, as the intro said, I was going overseas in 2010. I'd always struggled with my weight, so I decided at the end of 2009 the time was finally come to do something about it. So I started exercising for the first time in a long time, and I started controlling what I was eating, and I achieved the goal that I'd set myself before I travelled. And then when I came home, I continued with that healthy lifestyle, and over the next few years lost 50 kilos and felt fantastic for it.
Then you put some back on. Well done. That is an awesome effort.
Thank you.
You did put some back on. Life got in the way, medical things. Part two, you were diagnosed with a medical condition and had to have part of your stomach removed. Tell me about that.
Well, that's right. I didn't know why I was putting the weight back on. My lifestyle hadn't changed, and I was thinking something's not right here, and it turned out that I actually had a tumour growing in my stomach. The only safe way to remove that tumour was to remove approximately 90% of my stomach and to create a gastric sleeve with what was left of my stomach so that I could still digest food and live a reasonably normal life. So the outcome for me is exactly the same as if I had chosen to have bariatric surgery. So the sleeve is a byproduct of getting me healthy again.
Okay, so not many people would find themselves in the position that you find yourself in. You successfully lost a significant amount of weight through the traditional method. Now you're losing weight again because of the surgery that you've had. How long has the surgery been?
6 weeks yesterday, actually. So I'm still on the path to recovery, and I've lost 13 kilos in those 6 weeks. So, yeah, thank you. I'm liking the results, but it comes at a cost.
You have experienced both methods firsthand. What are the pros and cons from your perspective of both? And if you had the choice, what would you personally choose?
If I had the choice, diet and exercise is the way to go for me personally. But Shari, I've got incredible willpower, so when I decide to do something, nothing will stop me. I really liked the feeling of empowerment that diet and exercise gave me. Like when I was fit and healthy, I felt like I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Nothing could stop me. And I liked having that control over my body and what I put into my body. The pros, as I said, were that, but the cons were that it's a constant struggle to maintain your weight because you're surrounded by temptation everywhere you go. In terms of the bariatric side of it, I'm liking the results that I'm seeing, and I'm losing the weight actually really easily. It's never been so easy in my life to lose weight. But the cons are that it's now taken away that element of control, and I feel like I'm a slave to my body now rather than being in control of it. So just to give you an example, this little cup of peaches that I'm holding here is half a cup, and that's more than a meal for me. And that would take me 30 to 40 minutes to actually get into my system. And if I wasn't careful about how I ate that, then my body would reject it and I would become very sick for the next few hours. I have to center my whole day around eating and drinking. On a hot day, I can't scull down a glass of cold water anymore. I'd get sick. I have to constantly sip all day so that I don't dehydrate. I have to eat 5 small meals a day of between 1/4 of a cup and half a cup at the moment, and I'm not even allowed to eat solid food yet. So it's a long, long journey, and it's not taking the easy way out of things. I had actually considered weight loss surgery years ago when I was struggling with my weight, and I thought, no, look, I want to do it the right way, and I want to do it the not the hard way, but I want to do it the healthy way.
Yeah.
That's right. And so I discounted weight loss surgery, and now look, ironically, here I am on the other side of it. But it's had such an impact on my life in every single aspect. You know, my partner and I, we obsess about where we can go for dinner now, about what we're going to eat, because I've got to share part of his meal. There's no point me ordering a meal when I'm eating that much. Whether they've got a soup on the menu, you know, just those kinds of things. It takes over your whole life.
In some form or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there was one thing that you would say to anybody who is considering weight loss surgery, what would it be?
Look, if I can give one take-home message, it would be to talk to somebody who's actually had the procedure done. I had all of the medical professional advice that was available to me. I saw a consultant dietitian nutritionist. I'm still under her care, and I will be for the foreseeable future. I had psychological counselling. I had the best possible surgical team available to me, and yet it still couldn't prepare me for the realities of what this was going to do to my life. So my take-home message is talk to someone who's actually encountered it, who's experienced it, and who's living that life, because it's irreversible and it changes your life in ways that you could never possibly predict.
Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people do consider these options, and it's good for them to have this information. For those of you who struggle with your weight, the struggle is real, it's hard, and it's quite often lifelong. The only person who can truly decide what is the best way for you is you. Make sure though that you do truly consider all the implications, the lifelong implications that weight loss surgery will have on firstly your life, and secondly the life of those in your immediate circle. You can do it if you need to. It will firstly affect every aspect of your life in some way or another. And while some feel that it may be the easy option, as we've just heard from somebody who has experienced both methods of weight loss, it can be just as hard as diet and exercise. Thank you for watching The Point TV.
As human beings, we all need emotional healing. We're emotional beings. Our life choices are guided by our emotions. And at some point in life, we've all experienced a level of minor or major trauma. In this segment, I'll get straight to the point about how we can unravel and let go of stuck emotional energy stored in our body. I'm going to share with you my own yoga chakra balance ritual that you can do in 7 minutes. Only one yoga posture, one essential oil, and one affirmation per chakra. Following the 7 chakra centers, I will guide you to release blocked energy and negativity that may be causing pain or illness in your body, or may be causing emotional reactivity and stress in your relationships. Balancing chakras is part of an ancient philosophy and healing system. It can bring in a peace, a sense of freedom and happiness, mental focus, and emotional healing. I'm so excited and honoured to share this with you.
Emotions are an important part of our human experience, and even more important to learn what they mean and how they guide us, how we release them. Loving, laughing, and being excited are the positive emotions and the juice of life, but none of us are unscathed by anger, fear, and sadness. Imagine if everyone was taught to release negative emotions in an intelligent and empowering way. I'm sharing today the beginning of an emotional series, or an emotional healing series, called the Yoga Chakra Balance. It's drawn from the science of yoga, chakras, and essential oils. We'll cover each of the 7 chakras. So what is a chakra? Chakra in Sanskrit, the Indian language, means wheel. And there's wheels, spinning wheels of energy through the center of the body that line up with the spine. This affects the nervous system. They're also lined up with the glands, which affects our hormones. Just like waves and light frequencies and microscopic particles. We can't see them or touch them. They're part of our auric or our energetic system. When we balance chakra energy centers, we create balance in our mind and in our body. We nourish our glands and we improve our mental focus. The first chakra is called Muladhara. It's the base chakra, or the root chakra of the body. Located at the pelvis and extending down through the legs to the soles of the feet, this is a ruby red colour, and it spins at the same frequency as the gemstone ruby. Regardless of what's happening in life, regardless of what our purpose is, Muladhara nurtures our basic primal instincts. The best essential oils for Muladhara, we're going to start with today, is usually patchouli, because it nurtures stability and it also nurtures grounding. There's also a blend called On Guard, which is protective. I really love that one, and it boosts the immune system. But the one that I've chosen today is called Balance. It's a blend of certain oils that create, obviously, balance and grounding. So all we do is rub 1 to 2 drops on the soles of our feet before we start a posture. And it's important, the most important part of essential oils is that they're pure, so they've been extracted in a pure process, and that they're certified therapeutic graded. And once we've got the essential oil on, we're going to stand up in Tadasana. So just standing up so that the feet are hip width apart, and we're going to stand nice and strong. And I want you to take a deep breath in, so inhaling, and draw that red energy, a red light, down into the pelvic floor. Then as you exhale, send that red light down your legs and into the soles of the feet, grounding that red light. And you can imagine standing on Uluru or a big red rock. Feel the power there. Let's do that again. Inhale, breathing in that red light into the base chakra, and then exhale, send that energy down, that red light through the legs and into the base of the feet. And send that energy out around you. A beautiful red light, and bringing your hands to your heart. So bringing energy flow and balance to the base chakra, we feel more secure and less imbalanced. It helps to improve our sleep. We feel less anxious. We're less reactive to stress. We're more grounded. It helps us to release guilt and shame and help us move forward with a more positive attitude. Another posture, let's stand back. We'll take the left foot back, so we've got our right foot forward. We're going to bend the right knee and angle it over the ankle and straighten your back leg. So you can adjust the posture depending on your own flexibility and strength. If you want to go a little further, just flex the pelvis nice and low and get the pelvis low. Otherwise, we can just adjust depending on your own ability. Bringing the hands into the heart center, or for balance to the hips, or you can take the hands up in prayer and stretch the muscles behind the back. So wherever you're at, let's take another deep breath. Down into the pelvic floor with that red light. And exhale. You can close your eyes to visualize. Just press your feet into the floor. Press that red light down. Ground it down. Good. Feeling strong. So it helps us with physical issues around the pelvis and the lower back. It also helps the adrenal glands. So Muladhara, the base chakra, is associated with the adrenal gland. We'll take another deep breath here. And exhale when you're ready. Spread that red light down. So this is warrior or Virabhadrasana pose. Now we're going to engage the pelvic floor, engage your navel center, bend your back knee and press forward. Come back into Tadasana. Relax your shoulders down, feeling grounded, feeling secure, feeling stable. Let's swap to the other side and let's bring in some affirmations. You can choose one of the affirmations that I repeat that resonates with you. So why affirmations? They follow our thoughts. The energy flow of an affirmation follows our thoughts so that whatever you visualize, you can manifest. And the affirmation for Muladhara is, I am open to receive and being nurtured by the power of the universe. I am open to receive and be nurtured by the power of the universe. You can take your arms up if you want more power here. I am grounded and nourished by Mother Earth. I am grounded and nourished by Mother Earth. Let's take another deep breath in. Breathe that red light into the pelvis. Exhale, send it down your legs, press it into the soles of the feet. Good, engage that back knee. And coming back, standing in Tadasana, I resolve to taking care of my body and I accept it as it is today. I resolve to taking care of my body and I accept it as it is today. And bring your hands to your heart, sitting down in Utkatasana, chair pose. I have courage and strength. You can take your arms up for more power. I have courage and strength. And fold forward in Uttanasana and take a couple of breaths here as you tuck your chin. Let your head go nice and heavy. Relax your shoulders. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Another deep breath into the pelvis. Exhaling that energy down and gently coming all the way down. Resting here. So we all have the capacity to embrace life to its fullest and cherish ourselves as a spiritual being in human form. On our next segment, we'll cover the sacral chakra, also known as Svadhisthana, bringing balance into this beautiful orange chakra that governs our sensuality, our sexuality, and our creativity. And a yoga quote to leave you with today. Ego says, "Once everything falls into place, I will find peace." But Spirit says, "Find peace and everything will fall into place." Namaste.